Victim recognition. To be able to save someone's life, lifeguards need to be able to recognize when someone is in trouble or need help. They must know the behavior that the victim shows when in distress or drowning. For example, if they saw someone at the surface splashing around, is it a person just playing or drowning? Or a person face down, is it on purpose or he or she unconscious? Next is the distress situation. What is distress situation? These are people in trouble and in distress, but able to keep afloat, signal for help, and take actions. And what are the signs of water distress? We have here the gasping for air, weak swim stroke, bobbing up and down into water, and etc. And now, I prepare a video on how to rescue a distressed swimmer. Reminder: if you do recognize a distressed swimmer, the first thing to do is to notify a certified lifeguard or first responder. And while they attend to the distressed swimmer, it can be helpful to call 911 to have emergency personnel on standby. Distress signal. It is used to show that you need help and require immediate assistance. Visual distress signals. Types of pyrotechnic devices. Hand flares. Orange smoke. Parachute flares. Types of non-pyrotechnic devices. Orange distress flag requires only for recreational boats more than 20 feet in length. Electric distress signal. A flashlight is acceptable for night use only. Arm signal. Extending both arms out and raising them up and down. Information about the use of flares. Read and understand the instructions. Note expiration date and replace as necessary. Hold lighted flares downwind and over the side of the boat. Do not point them at anyone and hold away from your body. Store in a watertight container such as the Ziploc bag. Take note na kada siya nga mga device or mga signal is gamitin lang during the emergency. Classification of drowning victim, conscious non-swimmer. It is a person that cannot travel in the water unless they receive support or someone who lacks the ability or skill to swim. Natay ginatawag na swimming class or swimming lesson. Diri makatunan nato unsaon ang tama nga paglangoy. And at the age of 4, pwede na ma-enroll ang isa ka bata. Pero sa akong nakita o sa nabantayan is kanang naay mga bata nga nagdako gani dapin sa sapa or sa dagat. Kabalo sila mulangoy pero lahira jud tong naka-take og swimming lesson kay dito mabalaan nato sa ang proper way sa paglangoy para iwas tasad sa injuries. Next is the conscious weak swimmer. Quite dangerous to rescuer as they grab hold whoever comes closer. A weak swimmer who stumbles and loses footing with unable to touch the bottom can quickly start to drown. The person who is in trouble cannot move a few feet to safety and is unable to call for help, and they may sink out of sight within a seconds. Injured swimmer. Either exhausted or unskilled to swim in clouds after falling. Swimmers are well versed in early morning practices, team workouts, and living healthy lifestyle. What many may not know is that swimming with poor stroke mechanics or decreased flexibility and strength may cause an overuse injury. Neck and shoulder injuries are among the most common injuries that swimmers face. It includes irritation and inflammation in the shoulders, rotator cuff, tendonitis or tears, shoulder impingement syndrome, which is a result of pressure on the rotator cuff muscles from part of the shoulder blade with the arms in the lifted overhead, and many more. We also have here the causes of swimming injuries. First is the overtraining, not enough rest periods, poor stroke mechanics, poor breathing technique, poor flexibility or range of motion, decreased rotator cuff or shoulder blade scapular muscle strength, poor core strength or stability, and decreased hip muscle strength. And last, unconscious victim. Often, they are cooperative in the rescuer. What happens or signs when someone is unconscious? A blank or confused look in face, suddenly becoming unresponsive, dizziness or trouble standing, rapid heartbeat, and mumbled speech. And what to do if someone is unconscious? Call or tell someone to call 911. Check the person's airway, breathing, and pulse frequently. If necessary, begin CPR. If the person is breathing and lying on their back and you do not think there is a spinal injury, carefully roll the person toward you and to their side. And keep the person warm until the emergency medical help arrives.